let's transition because we're not going to spend a ton of time on it. But Punisher One Last Kill, that one shot came out just yesterday evening.
Yep.
You've had a chance to see it. I have not yet, but spoil away. What's our takeaway
I'm just going
there?
to start off. There is really nothing to spoil.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
our homie, Frank, is not in a good place mentally. And this is where I have like continuity issues
Sure.
with this. Like this almost feels like it's outside of everything that happened in Daredevil.
Yep.
Because the timeline is weird, right?
Right.
Because at the end of Daredevil season 1, he breaks out of prison and you're like, oh, that dude's just going to go on a rampage again.
Yep.
Right. Not the, oh, he's depressed. He's going to try to
Yep.
off himself,
Mhm.
if you will,
Mhm.
which was horribly dark because
Yep.
he was going to be where his family is buried.
Mm.
That is what what he was gonna do, and then you go back and this gangster, the wife of a mob leader, she's now taking over
Yep.
the family, the Nucci family,
Yep.
Ma Nucci, and she pretty much just starts talking about how her and Frank are very similar because her sons died and her husband died because Frank murdered the bejesus out of them. Right. He murdered every single one of them.
Thoroughly.
And by the way she defends them, kind of nuts.
Mhm.
Like, you're a blind mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, yeah, so at 6:24, the entire city is going to come after you and try to kill you for a reward. Have fun. And then she dips. And then you just see Frank, as soon as that time hits, 15 minutes nonstop murder. I'm not even kidding. It's awesome. Don't get it twisted. It's
Right.
awesome action
Right.
sequences. Literally, it starts with that scene from the trailer where
Yep.
he
The
gets lit
fire.
on fire,
Yep.
just screaming bloody murder. It's great. It's great for Frank. And essentially, towards the end of it, he saves a family
Right.
rather than going after the vengeance,
Sure.
which is good
Big
for
deal
him.
for Frank. Big
Yes.
deal.
So he saves his family. This little girl pretty much is like, thank you. And then he's like, oh, this is why I do what I do. Comes back, gets cleaned up, puts the Punisher vest back on. And then essentially he is the vigilante of Little Italy.
Yep.
That's where they leave him off. And it's hilarious because there's this old guy at the beginning of it who pretty much gets mugged because Little Italy is just nuts because he knocks off the Nucci family, so now there's no order. So
Got it.
everybody's running amok,
Sure.
doing whatever they
Wild
want.
West.
Yes. So this delinquent takes this guy's hat,
Right.
this old guy's hat, takes
Right.
his dog, chucks it in front of a dump truck, kills the dog, right? Cycles
Mean.
back.
Mean.
Awful. It's awful. You don't
Oh.
actually see him throw the dog.
Right.
But at the end of it, the guy comes back on the old guy. Punisher comes in. He pretty much just pins him up against the wall. The old guy's like, yeah, that's my hat. So he takes off the hat, throws it back to him. The guy starts to run, and the old guy looks at Punisher and he's like, he took more than that. Frank's like, I got you. Takes an axe, just chucks it at the guy, throws it at him. You just see
Jeez.
him fall, and then pistol to the face. So look, the action's fantastic. Frank at the
Yeah.
end of it looks amazing, but
Mhm.
it's just such a weird thing because it's good, but it's such a weird placement for
Yeah, chronologically. Yeah.
it just
Hmm.
in my opinion it doesn't need to exist. I'm glad it exists.
Right.
That's fantastic and great. But I was hoping you were going to get to see him hunt down each member of the Nucci family
Sure.
in one way, shape, or form.
Sure.
Because if you know comics, how he kills Ma Nucci is actually nuts. So for those who haven't read it and want to, here's essentially what
Give yourself
happens.
a treat.
First, he throws her into a pit with a polar bear.
That's a tough start.
she-
That's the first thing?
She lives,
Ugh.
but the polar bear ate off every single limb. So
Oh.
she has no arms, no legs. She's just in a wheelchair. And then essentially in their final outing, Frank burns down the entire building. She somehow jumps out, survives. He looks at her, just kicks her back into the burning building and walks away. That's how she dies. And that's it. Isn't that gnarly? Fun stuff.
I was going to say it's cold, but makes sense if it's the polar bear, but it was a burning building, so wow.
Just
Wow.
goes to show you how brutal the Punisher comics are.
Yep.
But
No kidding.
again, from what
No
what
kidding.
I've
They do not hold back.
looked into, so who
Wow.
knows? exactly
That's
everything. but
incredible.
that didn't happen, unfortunately. I was really
Where's the polar bear?
like
Where is
seriously though. Like that is so out of left field where it's like, come on.
I guess what I'll say is bizarre to me is that we went this entire season of Daredevil and got nada scene with Frank. Like, you could put this together, but you couldn't incorporate him into an episode,
Well,
a couple episodes.
and they built this up, and it
Yes, they
felt
did.
like they built it up to be like, hey, this is where Frank's been.
Yeah,
And I
right.
was like, okay, that's great. I love that for Frank
Yeah.
because if he's occupied with other things, this makes sense. But when you watch this, you're like, that doesn't add up.
No.
Mind you, they don't mention anything about Fisk at
Yeah.
all. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, so it just seems like this outlier.
right, and there's nothing that
Yeah.
sets him up for Spider-Man.
Yep.
So you're just like story-wise, for the greater story, it does nothing,
Yeah.
which is kind of a bummer. At least lead off from Daredevil. I don't really care about you leading into Spider-Man all that much, but like you made him such an integral part in season 1, and then you fully take him out of season 2, where it's almost jarring to not even bring him back for the
Totally.
final.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't
That's
know.
the part that's just strange. Just strange to me.
Also, can we get a Punisher versus Bullseye fight?
That'd be so much fun.
Oh my
I know.
gosh.
That'd be extremely fun.